It's just weird, like, you know, driving around this town in a recovery van of the place that I went to treatment. I have to sit and really stop and think about it sometimes. Like, wow.
Here at 11, it's a horrifying trend that's also happening right here in Florida.
Cheryl Jouer has lost not one, but two sons to overdose deaths.
I walked everywhere after I lost my car, so there's a lot of places that I remember, you know, walking by a place or staying in that literally under a bench, but, you know, at a bus stop. It just, yeah. All these wicked nightmares has gone cold. Because just driving by it, you don't know it. Like, you don't know what's going on in that house. You don't know what's going on in that house. Looks like a normal house. You see those apartments, those 3 buildings? Yeah. The one that's a half a building? I lived in this end unit right here.
So what's on your mind right now when you see that?
The night I pulled up after I left Sam here for hours and he was standing out here in a diaper. When I left them by themselves and went to get drugs. Yeah, that's what's coming to my mind. You grew old in suburbia, where pretty demons never show.
There's no one that's immune from addiction. Get 10 people off the streets and put them in a room and just start asking them questions. They probably either abuse drugs, have an addiction themselves to something, or have a family member who suffered from mental illness or addiction.
The drugs have always been there, but the potency of drugs has increased. It creates more of a chemical dependency, so we're creating more and more addicts with stronger and stronger chemicals.
Substance abuse is what people have always said. Substance abuse, substance abuse. That has changed. Now it is substance use disorder. Abuse is a word that we want to get away from. It adds to the stigma that we suffer from anyway.
And that's always been a problem in our society, is accepting it as a disease. But you have an addict who overdoses and comes into the emergency room more than once. I know what they say. I wish they'd die already. This is ridiculous. They're hopeless people. Where's your willpower? The stigma is even at the healthcare professional at that level. It is so sad. And if you don't look at the root of this problem, this disease, and accept it as a disease,
I grew up in a Christian home, so drinking and drugs and all that was off the table until I met a certain person. But the spiral of my life went so fast. I mean, I started using in February, and that December I was shooting heroin and lost my kids. I've been beaten. My jaw has been broken. I've been to jail 7 times. I've been in and out of the system. DCF was so sick of me, they were like, no, we're just not giving her kids back. Like, we don't trust her. She keeps trying to bounce back and she can't do it. Over the course of about 2 months, it went from, just people stopping by to a total drug house. There were people here in and out. There was a guy that did tattoos and was shooting up in the bedroom and the bathroom and then doing people's tattoos at my kitchen table while my kids slept. Like, it was just turned into a trap house. I was in a house in the woods, like, it was like a garbage can. It's the only way I can describe it. Like, just rodents, bugs. It was disgusting. And I was there for a few days, and this was leading up to Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving morning, we were watching the parade and eating some nasty egg salad crap, and I was out of drugs, and I was like, what am I doing? I took care of my kids. I was married. I had, we had a home. I had a car. I came here with a backpack of clothes that weren't mine. I had nothing. And I went from literally in a desolate cabin in the woods, putting a needle in my arm. And then I finally called Florida Springs. And here I am.
I think a lot of treatment centers would treat addiction as a primary disorder and not focus on the psychiatric and physical, spiritual, emotional components of the disease of addiction. We specialize in the multidisciplinary model to where we have teams that are working collaborative together in order to treat the whole person.
Addiction has always got some grief and loss and trauma underlying it that has to be addressed, or you're not going to be able to stay sober if you don't address those underlying issues.
They're just not a commodity or a number. When they come in here, we want them to come in and we want to help them transform their lives.
They come in, we put all our stuff down, empty our pockets. They want to make sure what's coming through the center, and so you leave everything here, and then we would come down to this medical room, and this is where they give you your blood work. They do your analysis tests, and then within usually an hour of the front door, we're in our own little private detox room. Detox for me was hell. I am an opioid user, so massive physical withdrawals, tremors, night sweats, nausea, diarrhea. Just the flu times 10. I hate to say this, but there's been times that laying in bed I'd rather die than deal with it, which is one reason I stayed in that cycle for so long. I came in here broken and suicidal, financially depleted, morally corrupt, feeling like not only could I not get sobriety, but I didn't deserve it. It's a dark place when you feel the world's better off without you. But I can't get sober by myself. I can't. If I could, I would have done it years ago. They make it very comfortable. They really care here. They're always checking on you. You don't need for nothing. You might want for some things, but you don't need nothing. As far as your actual needs. So, this room's the beginning of it. We have our pharmacy, our meds office basically right here in Detox Hallway. You're always within walking, or in our case, shouting distance of the nurse, the people that are helping you, the facilities that you need. It's made to be as comfortable as it possibly can be.
This center gives you hope. They give you the tools. They give you basically the book on what you need to succeed and stay sober, and get to the bottom, like she said, like the root issues, because addiction comes in many, many forms.
They have a great staff here. We have therapists that we meet with daily in group sessions. Then we meet with our therapists weekly on one-on-one sessions. They understand where I'm coming from. I don't have to lie to them to save face. They already know I'm an addict. I wouldn't say all the staff, but a good 60 to 70% of the staff is in some form of recovery or another.
I think that's what's big about having staff that's in recovery, is that I think like they think. When we start communicating and interacting with one another, I can identify those thought patterns. So I can tell you a story about a time where I was thinking just like you were thinking, and then how someone intervened and gave me a suggestion on doing something differently.
When our patients know that we have people in the building that have lived experience, those individuals become magnets for them. They want to know how they did it. They want to know what's working for them. And sometimes they just want a shoulder to cry on. They just want to be able to tell somebody what they're going through to somebody that understands it, that's been there. And so we charge our staff to appropriately and professionally share their lived experience so that it inspires change within our patients.
I know where you are, I've been there, and you're not alone.
Hurt people, but free people, free people. I've gotten through house arrest, getting my kids back, got us our own place. It's just, it's so much. I could probably write a book.
There's some stains on your photo. They all cracks on your rusty frame.
This is your study guide. And you have all the answers are right here. You just have to do it. Don't put any expectations on it. Just go and just try it.
I think we're full of guilt and shame. Guilt and shame for who I am, guilt and shame for some of the things I've done. Once I understand that it's a disease, it does diminish somewhat of the guilt and the shame.
If you woke up today, there's still a chance for you today. And if there's a chance for you today, there's a chance for you tomorrow.
There are many paths to recovery, and we'll help you explore all of them to determine which one is right for you.